Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another segment of Talk Topic City. I know it's been a while, so forgive me for being away, but I'm glad to be posting another video here. And before I get started in this video, I want to wish you guys all a happy, Thanksgiving. We are in the holiday season, and we are on the eve of Thanksgiving. And as you guys know, I am the Thanksgiving Grinch. I will not be eating turkey. Sticking true to my word. I will be having, steak, greens, mac and cheese, sweet potato pie. So I will have some Thanksgiving food, but not the main course, as you guys know. Steak is always good. But enough about me ranting on. I just wanted to wish you guys a happy Thanksgiving. So the topic of this segment is going to be about the pros and cons of social media. And when it comes to social media, there's good, right? There's good and there's bad. For example, like living in California. What do people say about California? The weather is fantastic, but then it's too expensive to live here. And that's the pros and cons. But every state has pros and cons, right? And the same can be said about social media. So let's get started. When it comes to the pros of social media, I think one of the biggest things is being connected. And what do I mean by that? You can be reconnected with your family, your friends worldwide, old acquaintances, people that you grew up with and maybe you had lost touch with over the years, and then you're scrolling through social media and then you find them and then you see their picture and it's like, oh man, like I grew up with Josh or um, Jordan, Rebecca, Hannah, right? I'm just making up names as I go along. But the point is, it's like you see these people on social media and then you reach out to them and then they see you and they remember and then the whole conversation gets started and they're happy to see and hear from you again. And I think that's the, real pro of social media. It's like reconnecting people together. And I think it's just a wonderful thing and it's really cool. Another pro that I find really interesting and cool about social media, which is beneficial for a lot of people, is tutorials. I can't count the number of different tutorials that I've seen on social media that I come across. For example, there's tutorials on like your favorite recipe, how to cook, how to work on cars, gardening. Um, when it comes to styling, like different clothes or ideas, hairstyles, so many different things that you can learn from social media. There's so many tutorials, math tutorials. Whether it's educational, whether it's learning music or how to play an instrument. It's just so much out there, and I think social media is great for that because if you want to learn something or if you want to like check something out, learn something new, or apply a new skill. Some people they may learn differently. Some people they may learn through social media and how people do it step by step. And the good thing about it is that you can watch it as many times as you need to, as many times as you want to get it down perfectly. And I think social media is wonderful for that. So I would have to say tutorials is another pro when it comes to social media. And then marketing. As you guys know, during the pandemic in 2020, a lot of things, went online. And I think, it gave a chance for people to become entrepreneurs, to start a business, to promote themselves, to put themselves, to be more creative. And I think what the pandemic, it allowed people to excel and to really like learn about marketing, to learn how to like use social media for their benefit. And marketing is a way to target audience worldwide and to target customers or to work with people, to put yourself out there. And I think marketing on social media is a great thing because a lot of people use social media, and that is a way to connect with people, a lot more people. So I think marketing is another pro. As for myself, and also working from home is another useful tool. And as for myself, I think it allowed not only me but other people to become more resourceful. Um, and then for me, I like social media because it gives me ideas and tips and things that I may not have known. Like I can just find it on social media. I can watch a video clip. There's hairstyle ideas, as you know. I've been growing out my hair, and I find social media a great resource and tool to use because there's so many different like hairstyle ideas and hairstyle tutorials and things like that you can find. Um, Pictures that you can look at. You can show your barber, your hairstylist, like, hey, like I found this. I want to try this hairstyle out, and they can, hook you up and give you that hairstyle. And I just think it's a wonderful thing. Um, and then when it comes to the cons, right? As I mentioned before, there are pros, there are cons, there's positives and negatives. So when we go through social media, I think it's a great possibility that our self-esteem may come a little bit down. I believe we get caught up in trying to keep up with the Joneses, um, about what people think, right? And then we see these pictures, people at the beach, um, they're in an expensive car, in a Ferrari, a Range Rover, a Tesla, um, and that's fine and dandy, right? It's good to be able to experience the best of the best, but I think it's important to understand that not everything is what seems to appear on social media. It's not authentic. Maybe they're not. Maybe those aren't the things that they have, or maybe they have those things, but they're wouldn't be able to keep up with the payments as long, or maybe they can, but they're barely keeping up with the payments. Right. My point in all this is that it's fine to be able to want to experience those things, but I think it's important to know that can we afford those things? If we want to try to be like those people on social media, do we have the standard of living to be able to get that nice car, to be able to have all those designer clothes, to be able to take all these vacations, right? Because we want to be those people that we see on social media. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. I just want us to have more awareness and to be able to make sure that we can afford that style of living because we all want that, right? Who wouldn't? And then jealousy, right? And as I mentioned before, we see things on social media, and these people have those things that we want to experience. We don't have it, and it makes us feel some type of way, right? Some people they may feel sad. Some people they may feel angry. Some people they may grow envious. Some people they may get depressed because we see those people who are doing these things, and we're working hard. We're none of us are perfect, right? But we tend to like follow all the rules. You have people who will follow the rules, who will work hard, provide for their families, do everything they can to make sure that everyone's taken care of, and you're doing everything you can. You're being obedient, but you're not experiencing the best that the life has to offer. And then you see someone on social media who's not doing those same things, who are not applying the same principles, but then they're experiencing things that you want to experience, and they're doing better in life than you are. And it's natural to want to grow envious of that. But I just want you to know that even though that it may feel natural, as I mentioned, everything is not what they appear to be on social media, and it's important to not try to let social media dictate and control how we feel. You have the power to stop looking at social media, right? If it becomes too much, I think it's important to know that we can shut off our computer, we can put down that phone, and try to channel our energy into other things. Go outside, spend time with friends, go out in person and interact with people, go to the gym, go out for a walk, do some painting, whatever it is that you like to do. Just take a break from social media because sometimes it can be too much. Um, and influence is another thing. As I mentioned before, we want to get noticed, and sometimes it can get us into trouble, right? For example, when there was a lot of new challenges and people were just doing it and throwing caution into the wind, no matter what the challenge was, people were just doing it. And why? I think there's different reasons. We want to feel like we're somebody. We want to feel like we have heavy influence on people. We want to feel like we're popular, and I get it. There's nothing wrong with that. We want to be able to grow our audience. We want to be able to have new followers, to get more eyeballs on us. I think it's natural to want to have those things. But it's important to understand that, hey, what am I gaining out of this? Do I really enjoy what I'm doing right now? Is this a really safe thing to do. It's just a smart thing to do. And sometimes it's not, because some of the challenges, can be dangerous. But why do we do it? Because we want to have more eyeballs on us. We want to have more influence. We want to feel like we're important. We want to feel like we've established ourselves and that we are leveling up. But it's important to know that we have to value ourselves more and to like really think, like, is this the right thing to do? Am I doing this for the right reasons? So, but it's nothing wrong with wanting to cut loose and to have fun. Just be aware. That's the thing that I, value the most. And then there's another term that I've heard before. It was from an athlete, and um, he said, I'm going to go dark mode." And I think, as I thought about that and why they're doing it, and I think it's a really good thing, um, because for example, if you're a professional athlete, right, and there's a certain time of year, there's the regular season and there's the playoffs, and he had mentioned that he's walking away from social media because the playoffs are getting ready to start. I don't need any outside distractions. I don't need to look at anything. I don't need to read these comments. My focus is on my teammates, my coaches. I want to be able to perform well, because in the playoffs, everything's a lot more intense, right? And then we can apply that to real life. If it becomes too much, go dark mode. Walk away. I'm not saying you have to quit social media altogether, because as I said, there's pros and there's cons to social media. But if it becomes too much, it's important to know that you can take a break. You can put down that phone. You can put down that iPad or whatever it is that you you use to get on social media, right? Just walk away. You have that power and you can have that choice anytime that you want to. I'm not saying you have to walk away from it forever, but if you need to take a couple hours, if you need to take a day, a week, a month, however it is, and how long you want to do it, you have that right. Go outside, catch some fresh air, do something that you enjoy that brings a smile to your face. Just go dark mode. It'll be good for your mental health, and it lets you reboot and recharge, and that's important. So I'm getting ready to close out here. As I mentioned before, there's good things on social media, and then there's bad things on social media. We can learn on social media. We can connect with people. We can, put ourselves out there, and then on the other side, we can become our mental health can be affected. We can become, sad. We can experience different types of emotions. The important thing, the important thing to know is to have a balance, to be in the middle, be neutral. You can spend time on social media, but don't allow it to like dictate your life and to affect your everyday of life, right? So just be in the middle. So I want to thank you guys all so much for listening and being here. I want to wish you guys a happy Thanksgiving. Be safe and enjoy the holiday season.